What's poppin', guys? It's your boy Jay, that's me. Smackdown. Oh boy. This show was dreadful, pitiful, worthless, filler, dumb, ignorant, waste of time. I could go on and on and on and on. This show was an absolute train wreck. Nothing on this show had any importance at all. Nothing. This show was as dry as a biscuit. I don't even know where to even begin. I really don't. I don't even know where to begin. It's just a damn shame. It's a complete and utter damn shame. Whoever wrote and produced this show, whether it be Triple H or Vince or both of them need to have their asses kicked. This is absolutely just stupid to the highest degree. A complete and utter waste of a 2-hour program. Again, nothing on this show happened that was of any importance. Nothing. Oh, boy. All right, let's go ahead and get into this show. So we kicked the show off with the first match tonight, the Judgment Day, featuring Finn Balor and Damian Priest versus Santos Escobar and Rey Mysterio. The Judgment Day win via South of Heaven. So Santos Escobar continues to eat L's constantly. He's not won a match since he's been on the main roster. And they are going to turn him heel, for sure. That heel turn is coming. Santos Escobar needs to turn heel quick, fast, in a hurry. Post-match, Damian Priest gets on the mic. He speaks a little bit of Spanish. And he plugs how Bad Bunny is going to be on Monday Night Raw in Chicago. So Priest, he laughs, and then he says that he hopes this appearance turns out better than the last for Bad Bunny. Okay. Who really cares? So backstage, we see the Usos and Solo Sikoa coming to the ring. Walking into the building backstage. All right. Zelina Vega, for whatever reason, was backstage. She was talking to Adam Pearce in his office. So Zelina says that the WWE draft is next week, and she can't control what happens to her, but she can control what she does now. So she basically challenges Rhea Ripley due to what the Judgment Day has done so far, and as the only female roster member from Puerto Rico, she has to fight Rhea and prove something. So Pierce says it'll be a hell of a match. So he'll speak with upper management and Rhea, then get back to her. So Zelina Vega is curious to what Mommy has to say, and then she walks off. Again, this is nonsensical. It makes zero sense. Zelina Vega is super tiny, and she's not believable. This should just be a match on Smackdown. It should be a squash match lasting maybe about a minute or less, and that's it. Like, this is a waste of time. And they'll probably put this on the Backlash card anyway. But this is an absolute waste of time. Next, we got a hype video hyping up Shinsuke Nakamura, hyping up his return for last week. So, Karrion Kross and Scarlett, they appear. So, Cross says, identity. It takes a lot of time to find. Another 1,000 lives to know if it's really yours. Then in 3 seconds, it can completely be destroyed. So Cross asks Nakamura if he sees the superstar tarot cards on the table. Cross says he didn't hurt these people. He's never hurt anyone in his life. It was the cards. How do we even know who we are until something is taken from us? Cross says he took Drew McIntyre's temperament, Madcap Moss's joy, and Rey Mysterio's patience, and now he'll take away Nakamura's honor. And then Cross does his typical TikTok, and that was it. Okay, this is interesting. I sort of kind of like this for the most part. Next, another nonsensical rematch. The Viking Raiders versus Braun Strowman and Ricochet. Braun Strowman and Ricochet, they win. Who cares? Again, why in the hell are Ricochet and Braun Strowman even still a tag team? It makes no sense. I would put Ricochet, when it comes to the draft, put him on NXT. He's been to Raw, he's been to Smackdown. Just put him on NXT for a while. Like, seriously. That's what they need to do with this draft. Like, you can't just switch people on different shows and that's all you do. You can't just put, hey, we'll put these guys here on Raw or these guys on SmackDown. You got to include NXT, and it needs to really be looked at as a third brand. I think that's what they're probably going to do, because they're probably going to get a decent bit of guys and girls from NXT. I can already think of quite a few off the top of my head that are actually prepped, primed, and ready for the main roster. From Cameron Grimes, Pretty Deadly, Tyler Bate, Ilya Dragunov, JD McDonough, people like that. Indy Hartwell. That's kind of what I would do. And you could put Braun on Raw, and you can kind of slide him into the main event scene. That's what I would typically do with Braun, because Braun is over. He's still very over. Next, Kayla Braxton. She's backstage with Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. So Liv gets fired up, and she's ready to get messy if the challengers want to. And DeVille tells her to save it for... not DeVille, but Rodriguez tells her to save it for the ring. Like, I don't know what was on Liv Morgan's mind, but she reminded me a little bit of Thea Hale with 10 cups of coffee. Tone it down some. She was uber excited for this match. And I'm just like, what the hell? This is so stupid. So, we're about to get the match underway. Then out come Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. So, both of them get on the mic and then make fun of Liv and Raquel, and that was it. So, basically, Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan, they win. They throw water in Chelsea Green's face, and then they roll up. Deville with her. They roll up Deville, and then Raquel puts her feet on the ropes, and that's how they win. Who cares? It doesn't essentially matter. It's just all a waste of time. Please end this tag division. Burn those tag titles. For real. If you're going to do anything, at least put them on KC Squared. And they'll probably get caught up too. KC Squared, they've been due for a call-up for a while. Because we hadn't seen them on NXT in a minute. I think it's been maybe like 3 or 4 weeks, if not longer. So Kayla Braxton, she's backstage with Matt Riddle. She asked why he took the no DQ match tonight when he hears the 6-man tag is coming up at Backlash. So Matt Riddle talks about Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens being away tonight to prepare for the big match. He says last time Solo Sikoa left them buried under a table, but tonight Solo will be the one left under a table. Okay? I sort of kind of like serious Riddle. Well, it's a mixture. It's like maybe like 25% comedy and like 75% serious. So I kind of like this new version of Riddle. He's okay. Next, Gunther versus Xavier Woods versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship match. For the Intercontinental Championship. This went on way too long for me, and this really should have been like about a 5 to 10 minute match. This went on maybe about 15-20 minutes. This was a little bit too long for me, and it felt like, the crowd was super into it, but for me, I feel like if I was booking this, I would have had Gunther just completely dominate Xavier Woods. Like, it would have been a total squash. Total squash. That's what I would have done. Anyway, Gunther wins via a sleeper hold. So that was cool. So I like that. I'm glad Gunther's still champion. So the Usos, they come out before the main event. They take the mic. They announce that they're in your city. They go on about how they feel about coming out to WrestleMania 39. Out of WrestleMania 39, and how soon they'll finish the mission. They said that they have a huge 6-man tag at Backlash. But first, next Friday they have a big WrestleMania rematch. They dedicate the win to Roman Reigns when they become 9-time champions and bring the gold back to the Bloodline. They promise to body Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and then they introduce Solo Sikoa. This is fine here, but I'm so sick of everyone involved. We've kind of seen a combination of all this for several weeks, and these guys need a serious break from each other. What I am most upset about is the fact that Roman Reigns is not on the show. The fact that he hasn't even addressed this situation on air in the ring makes no sense. Like, this should have been addressed on the Friday, the Smackdown after Mania. That's when it should have been addressed, where Roman should have put the fear of God in the Usos. Like, seriously. I just think that there needs to be more. There needs to be like a stipulation involved. I would do maybe a 2 out of 3 falls match or something like that. Something, there has to be a stipulation involved to put an end to this. And we all know that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn aren't going to lose. And so maybe post-match, maybe Roman just loses it with the Usos and beats down the Usos. I could see him doing like a Superman punch to both Jimmy and Jay and then spearing them both, and then maybe have Solo kind of like buck up to him, and then where he kind of forces Solo to do the Samoan spike to both Jimmy and Jay. Kind of how he's gonna have to hesitate to do it. But, he doesn't want to do it, but he has to do it. So, he hesitates and does the Samoan spike. Something has to happen. That's just what I would do, because this is just gone on for too long now. Main event, no DQ, Solo Sikoa versus Matt Riddle. So, towards the end of the match, Matt Riddle was able to put the announce table on top of Solo. The Usos got involved. Matt Riddle took them out, and then Solo hit a running Samoan spike for the 1-2-3. Post-match, the Usos do the 1D through the table, and the Bloodline, they celebrate, and that was the end of the show. Again, this show was missable. It was a disaster. It was nauseating. This gave me a headache. This is bad television right here. This is the epitome of bad television. And with them announcing Backlash, some more of the card, that looks awful. You know, we're getting Seth Rollins versus Omos, which should be okay, but for the most part, Seth Rollins doesn't need to be in that situation at all. He just doesn't. The same thing with the triple threat match between Bobby Lashley, Bronson Reed, and Austin Theory for the U.S. title. That doesn't need to be on the card as well. It doesn't need to happen. I would much rather prefer Bronson Reed versus Bobby Lashley. Again, I hate multi-man matches. They're way too overdone. Way too overdone. Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega. Just put that on Smackdown. I mean, seriously, like, come on. Are you kidding me? Zelina Vega versus Rhea Ripley? Seriously? That's a waste of time. That's an absolute waste of time. That should be a total squash match. I'm talking like 30 seconds. A couple clotheslines, Riptide, 1, 2, 3. It's not believable. At all. But this show was an absolute travesty and disaster. Hopefully, this draft can actually make these shows better, because these shows do need to be shaken up. From Raw, SmackDown, and NXT, we all need to get a massive shake up. A massive shake up, my bad. I said shape up, my bad. We need a massive shake up. We really do. This show was just pitiful. Like I said before, Vince and Triple H should both be kicked in the ass. This was horrible. What did you guys think? Let me know. Hit the like button, comment down below, and subscribe for more videos. I'll catch you guys later. This show absolutely sucked.